Let's see. I think if I was able to calculate correctly, we should be live. Okay, so oh, my camera angle is a little bit, oh god, I think that's better. Oh, it's private right now. Oh, hold up. Well, monetization default would no. Why is this not working? This is extremely... Alright, so... Oh, there we go. So, no, I do not want it to be private. I want it to be public. WICSO is now live. Alright, baby. Let's freaking go. So, wait, wow, how can I get... Yep, there are the analytics. So, okay, I'm just gonna wait for a couple people. Oh, it's the thumbnail for it. Alright. I said I would go live today, and that is what we are doing. We are, let's see if I can get a better camera focus. I think that's better. Alright. Hello everybody. We are now live. I'm saying my buy rate is low. Tell me if the volume is low or anything like that. Just stuff like that. Hello everybody with another Civilization Live. Today we're gonna be doing stuff and it's gonna be good. Oh yeah. Alright. Hello. How am I? I am good. Thank you, GeoMapper. Put the volume a little higher? Sure, yeah. I think I'll bring it up to... on OBS right now I'm at 5 decibels negative. Just tell me how that is. Is it... Am I from Indiana? No. I am from United States. I'm not from Indiana. I'm from the United States. Yo, Andrew02YT, thank you for becoming a member. Much appreciated. Alright, so if you want to know like what we're doing, we're going to be revising some of the states because a beautiful person made these states for me, but I'm just going to be revising them because I want some content. So, no offense to, oh god, wait. I'm a little bit slow right now. Upgraded, bro. Thank you for making the provinces, but I am going to redo a couple of them because I need content. Gray Germany WICSO. Augusto, I want to record my first video, but I am nervous about speaking and stuff. Can I get some tips? You just talk to a camera. I'm not quite sure how to sum it up better. The official GeoMapper, member for 1 month. That's insane. The USA is not the majority. Wait, what is my name? My name's August. Do you know like the month? Can we call them provinces? We can call them provinces. Alright, wait, let me just check. Yeah, that's good. Alright. For anybody that just got here, we are just going to be revising some of the provinces. These were made by Upgraded Bro, but I want some content. So you can already see on my free time I updated a couple of them just so it's like more visually appealing, you know. Did you know that egg? I did not know. Alright. So this My real name. I hate to break it to you. That is my real name. My real name is August. You know, it's kind of like where my channel name came from, Augusto. It's like August. Yeah. I feel like World War II will start in episode 41. You clearly have not watched episode 36. Because if you look at this, we already see that World War II has begun. Oh man, I just remembered I could crack my knuckles. Alright. Actually, before we do the provinces stuff, I'm just gonna explain something really quickly. I'm just gonna explain this a little bit better because some people said it came a little bit out of the blue, and I do agree with that. It was a little bit yeah. My name is a month, yes. I'm not saying my last name though. Maybe we'll do a last name reveal at 2,000 subscribers. Oh, sorry, Nicholas. I may have spoiled it for you. But for whoever has not watched episode 36, then L, because it was a premiere and it was very cool. But World War II, it's not, right now, it's just like a regional conflict. But what I have planning up for it, it's going to become World War II. Like, it's going to become a lot bigger than this. Because right now, it's only like these countries, which in hindsight is not that much. But I will give you guys a little bit of a hint at what the main like driving force for the war is going to be. It's on this map. Yeah, it's a war of imperialism. I've accidentally showed my last name before. Oh yeah. You know Adam Sandler? I'm like related to that guy. Just kidding. No, I'm not. Oh, my hair's a mess. I look like I have an afro. Alright. So I say so a lot. Looks like we have, ooh, let's see. My last name is September. Ah, that's funny. That's funny. Okay. So we are, oh, the Federation of States. I feel like that was also pretty cool. Do you guys like that name? The Federation of States. It's like, I think it has a good ring to it, but I just want to ask you guys. Oh, another thing. I'm just going to say this right now. Yeah, the Thracian country, after they went into anarchy, they have been suspended from the Federation of States. I probably should have made that apparent in the actual video. But Thrice, they're not a country, I guess, officially, but they are suspended if they do have any remnants of government. But you might also notice that Greece and South Anatolia are both in the Federation of States. And that is, you know, it's a little bit interesting. Probably something I should elaborate on. Yeah, okay, let me elaborate on that, actually. So, the way I set World War II was kind of like, it was like that Greece, oh, someone messaged me. Alright. It was like Greece and South Anatolia hate each other, and that brought the alliances into the war. That's not how I wanted to show it. Basically, they were imposed to do this by Iberia and Saudi Arabia. So that's like, why? Is my car made in China? My car is made. I made it. Will we get Central Asian Mongol nation for Mongol Empire equivalent? It's not a bad idea, actually. I'm not confirming anything, but it's not a bad idea. All right, let's do what we came here to do. We're doing some province revision, baby. Let's go. So, I'm going to keep the country borders because that's always good. Oh, my buy rate. You guys good? Is the OBS okay? Are we good? Can you please put Red Australia from WICSO on the map? Oh yeah, sorry. It might be a little bit laggy. My buy rate is doing some weird stuff. It should clear up in like a minute or two. But yeah, we're just going to have to live with it for a little bit. Augusto, play. Please say the forbidden number. No. Alright, so let me just start and do this. If you guys had to, like... How do I say this? If you guys wanted to, like, make a country, like, how would you do? How do you go about making a country? Because that's always something I feel like should be addressed. Yo, is it laggy? Is it okay? Is it okay? Are we good? My buy rate is 2,000 right now. Okay. Oh, Lord. A lot of people left because of the lagginess. Let me check if it's laggy, because should not be laggy right now. Yippity ta, yippity too, yippity tappy too ta. Okay, yep. Just doing that to test. Yep. Alright, so I think a lot of people left because it got a little bit laggy. But we are back. I think we're good. Have I heard about the US beef with Venezuela? Yes, it's been everywhere. I think we kidnapped their leader, didn't we? It's kind of messed up. Not sure how to feel about it. Maybe I'll make a video on it. The United States and Venezuela are like at each other's throat. Content creation. Oh, we're making a rebound. All right. So it was 7 people, but now it's 8 people. All right. So we are just remaking. Oh, that is atrocious. That's my fault. Oh yeah, if the U.S. Venezuela thing escalates, we are cooked. Because Venezuela is allied to Russia. And since Venezuela is allied to Russia, oh no. Make Alabama province in Alabama. We're not doing this again, bro. Oh my god. I'm just trying to revise provinces. I already revised these on my own time, but now we are just doing it here because I want content. Make a triangle province. You know what? Is this what you sick freaks want? Is this what you yearn for? Is this what you is this what you want? There. Is that good? Wow. Triangle or you know what? You can ask for shapes and like stuff like that, but yeah. Just like I might or might not do it because I'm a little bit lazy. More straight lines. Oh, right, colonial boundaries. I forgot about European powers. Alright, so we're gonna do this. Right here, it's gonna go like straight across, but then it's gonna go like annoyingly south a little bit. And then, what do European power do? And then we're gonna go down like that, and then we'll do a yippee toppy too taw. There we go. Annoying European boundaries. Do a circle. Since you're a channel member, sure. That's already kind of a circle, not gonna lie. Alright, now I'll do better than that. Circle. I think we can nook it right there. If we see it like that. Perfect. We got a circle in Ecuador. How many people are watching? Ooh, we made a little bit of a rebound from 7 people. Alright, this looks incomplete. Make a parallelogram. Alright, the members can @ me, so I think that's a good thing, because then I'll be able to know if it's actually worth doing the thing. Okay, so. Oh god, if I smile, it's... Alright, so we got the triangle, the parallelogram, and the circle, I think. That's still kind of a circle. Alright. Ecuador has been completed. Why, hello, cabbage. No. Cabbage merchant. Isn't that the guy from... Okay. Blue Finland should join the square lines. Gang, are we serious? What did they do in the last episode? What did they do in the last episode? Make a Texas-shaped one. Alright, you know what? Alright, now we're just gonna attack the big dog. Because... Oh, heavens. Oh, did I make it on the wrong layer? Oh. Oh. Did not make it on the wrong layer. Let's freaking go. Because I'm gonna need to make this bigger. Because there is a... Oh, how do you guys like the conventional mapping animation that came out today? I spent, like... surprisingly low amount of time on that. It only took like 3 hours. Yeah, but how do you guys like that? Alright. Provinces. Make a province that is completely surrounded by... Alright. Let me finish erasing this really quickly. And yeah, sure. Alright. So we can just go back. Oh, no, we're not going to the Caribbean because that's already done. All right. We have an empty Iberia, kind of. Good enough. All right. So I'm just going to do this area normally. But, oh, God. How much you guys willing to reckon that there's going to be an ideological war in my series? Alright, there we go. Do an L province. Okay. Is that good? Is that good? Ugh. So there's just an L. Dear Lord. Alright, you know what? I can do better than that. Come on. Alright. So it's going to start here. We're going to make it look kind of natural, but it's a European colony, so it doesn't really have to be pretty. Sorry, just European shade. But there we go. Oh, we made a massive rebound. We have 24 people here. That's pretty cool. Alright. What else? Evoire, you forgot mine. What did I forget? Make a province inside of a province. Can we like do this? Oh God, that was awful. Yeah, sure. So we are just going to start a province right here. It's going to be quite the large province. And what, you just make another one inside? Alright, you know what? I'm not going to make a province inside of a province because it looks like a donut and it's stupid, but I will make it slightly border the outside. There, that's good enough. Draw the Mona Lisa as a province or draw a square as a province. I think I'm going to draw the square as a province first. So we can just go ahead. And, oh, God, that's perfection. Not sure how I like that. Okay. Alright, so actually, we're still going to have the square province. It's just going to be, like, on its side. I hope that's okay. So now we can get down to business. Make a Europe province. No. It's way too much effort. Can you guys whistle? Because, like, I can whistle. It's just breathing in. Like, I can't go. I can't do that. But I can go, like. Is that, like, weird? Make a self-portrait province. Bet. So we're going to have. This is the eye. This is, like, another eye. I'm going to make it so that it blends in. But you can still, like, roughly see. All right, here's the forehead. And then we'll put the smiley face. And then we'll even put like a little tooth in for good measure. No, we'll give it like the SpongeBob teeth. That good? Is that the good self-portrait? That's what I thought. Alright, we got the self-portrait. I'm gonna make the nose actually. Yeah, that's good. So we are just going to center all of the provinces around the face. Then we can just split them up. So now we have like 5 districts, I guess you could say. This one would probably remain as like one thing, so I'm going to keep it like that. This one, we can like chop it up a little bit. I'm going to presume that the geography in this world is in this world, it's like roughly the same as our world. Like, for example, I know this area. Oh, I forgot to elaborate on this like a while back. But this area, in real life, it's a desert. And when the people came here from Africa in my series, it was a desert. But it's kind of like this area is now really lush and habitable. Like, a lot more than real life. So, that's like the effect of humanity over there. So, I hope I can make that clear. Why am I redoing the provinces in South America? Because I want content. That is the reason why. Would it be bad to look at Ada's Pro's province map for inspiration? Do a J next to the L? I'd rather not. Sorry. If World War III happens because U.S. and Venezuela, you're cooked because you live on the Maryland, D.C. border. Oh, moly. Yeah, you might want to rethink life choices if World War III breaks out. Alright, so we have the Amazonas provinces. I guess like these guys are the Amazonas provinces. Somebody can like canonize that. And then it's like a snake. Oh, hey, doesn't this just look so much better? Can we all agree that Germany has a weird shape in a WICSO? They do. They have an awful shape. They got crushed in the First World War. Alright, so let me actually get a move on because this is taking a very long time. Granted, the colony is, massive and it takes up like a fifth of South America. But, yeah. I think it's pretty cool that China colonized in the Americas in our WICSO. I think that's pretty good. Make my Germany look good. Episode 37 of WICSO will determine if that happens. Hey man, I've only watched the first 3 episodes of the series. Can you say a recap of the story? Okay, sure. Actually, I've been wanting to do something. It's like the mini movies, but instead of just like pumping them all into like a movie thing, it would just be like a 7-minute like video of just me yapping. So it'd be like, here's what happened in the first 10 episodes, and then it would just be that, and then all of the episodes, you know. But yeah, the lore of the series. Let's see. I'm gonna finish the Iberian colony provinces first. The vice president of Venezuela surrendered to right after Muerto was arrested. Was he arrested or kidnapped? I have failed to educate myself on the situation, which I feel like is definitely my fault. But, I haven't been to school in the past 2 weeks because of winter break. Wait, he was arrested? Wait, which police force? Like the American or Venezuelan police force? Because I don't see why he would be arrested by the Venezuelan one, but anything gonna happen. Hello, Mr. Agisto. Hello. Do a J province. Oh. You know what? We're gonna make it subtle. Is that J? Is that J? Okay, wait. Let me actually make it good. No. You can see it like that's the J province indirectly. Split Germany in 3 parts, the first of it being a new nation, which is Liechtenstein. The second would be Germany, but in a weaker state. And lastly, it would be the rest of the land to Den. What? Where do I live? I live in New York. It's my home state. Go New York. Oh. Okay, so I think we are just nearing the end of the Iberian colonies, brand new spanking provinces. I think after just a couple more lines. Ugh. OBS. OBS, no. Are you guys good? Oh no. Oh no, all I can do is sit here and watch as the buy rate plummets. Okay. Lag is gone? Good. Good. What was I gonna see? Can you have the map again? Chilean? You know what? We'll see. The Cabbage Merchant. Mind if I join the stream? Call you. Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm just gonna be like interacting with chat, but all right. Actually no. Don't call me. Don't call me. Don't call me. Don't call me. I'm muted. Can you guys hear me? Everybody, spam E. Spam E if you can hear me. Spam E if you can hear me. So okay. Okay. I get it. The volume is working. It's working. Oh, yeah. Okay. Halt. Stop. I hereby command you to stop spamming E. Oh, dear heavens. By Jove. Alright, I get it. You can hear me. Oh, what? Why does it look like a spider web? I need to shower. Alright. Holy bruh. Alright. Should I do something funny? Alright, so the Iberian colony is done. I think... Did I watch Adis's stream? I was there for part of it. WICSO creators don't shower. Boom. Yeah, perfect. Make a China province in China, Peru. I'll do that in a bit. Do I think I can get to 3,000 subscribers? I think it's possible. It's just gonna be a... It's gonna take a little bit. But that's okay. Because we're willing. We will fight to the end. Because we never back down. Never what? You guys have to, like, do the thing. Never back down. Never what? Maybe I'm just talking to myself. There it is. There it is. Never back down. Never what? Wolf, can you hear me? Wolf. Wolf, can you hear me? Wolf. Wolf, can you hear me? You just blinked, didn't you? Please do India province, Augusto. I'm lazy as can be. Alright. What should the funny thing be? Like, I said I was gonna do something funny, but, like, I'm not a very funny guy, you know? Like, I can't come up with that stuff. So, what should I do to be funny? Go Goon. Can I make national anthems for my WICSO nations? Go for it. Sure. That would be crazy if you made national anthems for my WICSO nations. Attempt a backflip? You know what? If this stream ends up to break my neck, I'm gonna sue you guys. And I'm gonna sue you for all of your Big Macs. Because I am the burger buster. And I love to bust the burgers. Because I am very hungry right now. Yo, jawline reveal? Let's see. What's my gooning streak? Am I allowed to publicly share that information? Like, I feel like that's in the Constitution. Don't withhold information of gooning streak. So, I can't withhold that information. I will withhold that information. Sorry, that was a little bit weird, but we have just finished the Brazilian provinces. Actually, I lied. We did not finish the Brazilian provinces because I still want to make more. Because population density is a thing, and it's going to exist. Surprise, surprise. Continuity finds its way into my WICSO after all. I should make a Taiwan province. I should, shouldn't I? Alright, so Brazil is now done. And I think... Oh, I cannot unsee this. Holy moly. Maybe if I just... No, it looks like... Okay. Please post where you get Ada's WICSO maps. Yo, can I show you guys something crazy? Let me show you guys something insane. I have every single one. Every. I don't think you guys understand the magnitude of this. Every single one. And it was all given to me by a beautiful person named Nate Davis. Search Nate Davis Yeeps and go subscribe to him because he is a W and he gave me all of the WICSO maps. I think I'm just going to publicly release episode 96 WICSO map. But first I have to get his approval. Okay. There's one thing that I've been wanting to do for a while after we just finished South America provinces. And that is update the major cities. Because there are definitely a lot more major cities now, if I do say so myself. Ooh, 25 people here. That's pretty cool. That backflip, though. Anybody remember that meme? It's a great meme reset time. Alright. Something you guys haven't seen in forever. The river maps. Oh, my God. The river is back. So we are going... Oh, all of these provinces are along rivers, which is actually kind of unfortunate. So, boom. Boom. I'm just gonna be scattering these everywhere. Screw the rivers. I'm just gonna be going off my own accord. Alright. If I had a chance, would I name any of your... If I had a chance, would I name any of my major cities? Probably just based off, like, vague real-life locations. Like, this is Baghdad. This is Rome. This is Brest. This is Barcelona. Like, stuff like that. But I'm not very creative, so... I mean, that's where you guys come in. Ha-cha-cha. Can you have episode 36 map? After World War II, honey. After World War II. Add more cities to Prussia on the coastline. You know what? Sure. Let's add more cities to Prussia. Because, you know what? Prussia deserves it. Prussia deserves the major cities, okay? Is that good? Is that what you wanted? Because we're not keeping that. Because that looks stupid. We'll keep a couple of them. Add more major cities in the Yucatan. Oh, they are starving right now. Boom. Bada bing. Bada boop bop. There would probably be one in Cabo. So I'm just going to put one right there. I've been to Cabo. It was not relevant. Alright. Lake Superior. Michigan. Yeah. Wisconsin. Georgia. Which place a major city wherever. Right here to Burma. Bro, W Burma in the chat. W Burma. Burma is my favorite major. When will America finally stop having straight borders? It's gonna be scarred like that. It's never not going to. Or at least it's not going to for a long time after decolonization. Which, it's obvious that decolonization is gonna happen. It's just I'm not saying when. Viewer WICSO. Oh, we should do a viewer WICSO. Oh, screw this. We should do a viewer WICSO. We should do a viewer WICSO. Alright. I'm putting a poll in the chat. Viewer WICSO. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Yes. Nah. Alright. Vote in the poll because alright. Oh, okay. 17 votes, 82% yes. Holy smokes. Might just have to go ahead and save this because 20 votes and 80 people, no, 80% of people say they do. So, yeah, we're gonna do a viewer WICSO. Okay, so, here's how we're gonna do this. We're gonna take this. We're just gonna copy it. We're gonna save it. Now, we have a copy of my WICSO map. Now we're just gonna do all of that. We're gonna do that. So now, oh heavens, okay. Hold up. Say goodbye to all of your favorite countries because they're all leaving. They're all gone. Because we are doing it in the name of VW. There go all the colonies. The coastline is still good. Oh, no. Coastline is still good. This random island nation. I don't know why I made them. Yeah, it's good. Let's go ahead and get rid of every single note. Alright, we're good. Like I said, get rid of every single country because, boom, blank WICSO map. Everybody put what you want to be. Put what you want to be. What do you want to be? What do you want to be? Alright. Okay, guys, chill. Just say, should I rename the stream? Alright. Okay. Oh, I have to make a... Sorry, guys. Bear with me for a second. I just gotta make a thumbnail really quickly because this is not a Civilization Live anymore now, is it? It is a viewer WICSO. If people see viewer WICSO, they're gonna be like, oh, yeah, cool. So now, really easily, we can just, oh, heavens. Here's how to make a pro thumbnail, baby. We can just like sandwich it. And then I'm just gonna put in the fancy font viewer WICSO. Just make that really big. Make it white. We just have to move the action, make it a little bit smaller. So now here's what we're gonna do. Boom. Boom. Actually turn on the opacity a bit more. Then is that a W thumbnail or what, baby? All right. Thank you guys for sticking with me. Alright, we have just completely changed everything. Okay. So now if I can just do one thing correctly, then I think, boom. Okay. All right. We are good. Everybody spam what you want to be. Spam like the name, like where you want your country to be and what color you want it to be. And yeah, holy moly. Holy whack-a-mole, why am I having so many DMs? Jesus Christ. Okay. Sorry about that. We are going to start. Mr. Cheese says he wants to be a dark blue Prussia. I think we should give Mr. Cheese the dark blue Prussia. So what, that's just going to be like... Also, guys, please be original. Like, I don't want to be seeing 1,000 red Mesopotamias. Come on. What color stands out? Holy moly. I think 20 is good. Mr. Cheese. Why is it so elegant? No. What? Show me have a normal font. Alright, good enough. Mr. Cheese, you have now gotten your Prussia. Who's next? Danish Empire may be light red. Geopolitically incorrect. I'm just gonna do GI. Check my DMs. Oh, Lord. Yo, somebody is spamming me on Discord. Please stop. Alright. Purple South Africa for Andrew YT. Sure. We're getting purple South Africa. Yeah, you guys can be anywhere on the world map. Just please be original about it. Come on, have some dignity. Alright, so let's do Andrew. Dark blue France for FP mapping. There's already dark blue, so I'm gonna make you Seafoam France. A little bit of a nod to my viewer Wix, not my viewer WICSO, the WICSO shorts. RIP in the chat. But FP, you are going to be getting your France, just not in the dark blue, and I do apologize for that. But you do now have your France. Alright, we've got a couple of nations. It's going well. Robert wants to be orange oh no. Robert, you are going to acquire your orange Istanbul. You're going to go up here into Thrice and wrap around the sea of whatever the hell this is called. And you're just going to take it. Oh, on the wrong layer. It's okay though, because I can just take... No, I can't. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, hold up. Also, I don't know why the names are on a separate layer. I don't see why we have to do that. Sorry, it's on my part. But Robert, you are going to be getting your Istanbul. So we're just going to put Robert. It's going to be a little smaller. That's okay. We all go at our own pace. Don't make your comments caps. It doesn't make me want to read your comment more. Trans Femme 5 Pebbles. Let me be Red Rome. Alright. Femme, you are going to be getting your Rome. There we go. Light brown Sweden for BBM. Sure. Light brown is just like orange, right? No, I'm just kidding. Light brown Sweden for Big Bacon Mapper. So, right there. We'll give you the islands. And you know what? I'll be generous. So you're going to get a little bit of Copenhagen, or at least the island. Big Bacon Mapper. Sounds like a surgery. BBM. Holy moly, bro. I renamed the stream to Viewer WICSO and it just went up to 36 people. That's crazy. Red Team WICSO, you are getting your red Mesopotamia. Alright, so this is like the Euphrates and this is the Tigris. Fun fact, Mesopotamia just means between rivers. So you are just going to be exactly between the rivers. There we go. Obviously, I'm going to remember that you're Red Team WICSO. Actually, I'm just going to call you Red Team. HM bloopers. Germany, dark brown. Sure. I'll just call you bloopers. So bloopers is going to get is Germany. It's not going to be exactly Germany. It's going to be a little bit of Denmark too. I think it'll be okay. There you go. Bloop. Hope you're okay with being called that. Alright. Dark green turkey for Crazy Mario. Sure. Crazy Mario, you are going to be getting the southwest of Anatolia. So we can just do that. Your username was Crazy Mario. That's a little big, so I'm just going to shrink it a bit. That's still legible. Alright. Okay, oh my god, guys, chill. Holy moly, there are a lot of people here. Okay. Dark red Siberia for Bendaj. Bendaj, sure. You can get your dark red Siberia. Don't expect it to be big though. It's Siberia. Come on. So I think I said I was gonna do Bendaj. So of course it can be a little bit bigger. Alright, here are our nations thus far. FP mapping, you want to be Ada's Pro, WICSO, that color? Sure. By the way, episode 96 map, massive W. FP mapping is going to be the color of WICSO France. Upgraded bro, dark brown, or just regular brown Cascadia. I got you. Brown Cascadia. Why not? Just gonna refer to it as upgraded. There we go. Up, stream. Streamy doing a little weird thing. Hold up. Save. Alright. Apologies, but we are back. Oh my god, the stream is very healthy. Hold up. Turquoise Norway for Turquoise Master. Sure. That's like a... might be colorblind, but... turquoise. And then we'll just put... turquoise. I'm a little stupid. How do you spell turquoise? That's fine. Dark green Mexico for Dinosaur Man. Sure. Alright, Dino. Here you go. Brown Netherlands. At least be original, man. Come on. Chilean mapper, you sent me a map? Did not see that. Oh, you did send me a map. Hold up. Alright, wait. Chilean just sent me a map. Oh, that is actually low-key cool. Alright. Here's actually what we're going to be doing. We are going to be taking all of our nations thus far, and we are going to be moving them over to this brand spanking new map. Thank you, Chilean mapper. I don't know why I didn't see that earlier, but I have now seen it. Control C. Get that out of here. Boom. So now we have our civilizations, but they also need a boundary. Oh, no. Sorry, just gotta line this up. Oh, no. Oh, you know what? I am very sorry, but we're restarting with the new map. We're restarting. Sorry to everybody that had a country, but we're restarting. But here's the thing. I'm not just gonna... Oh, Red Team WICSO. Welcome to the Augusto membership. Welcome, Red Team WICSO. So happy to have you as a member. Here's what I'm gonna do. Basically, the entire world is like... Yeah. You can do this. They can discover the oceans and the land. It's cool. But we're only going to have it centralized in one place. So if there's like a civilization over in Italy, you can't just be like India civilization and I'll make a civil. It's not going to be scattered. It's going to be centralized. But it's also going to be like... It's going to be like pockets. So like Western Arabia can be like a pocket of countries. And I say like Northern Europe can be a pocket of countries. So we are going to start right over here in Brittany, or Brest, as I like to refer it to. And there is going to be a civilization, and that is going to be the civilization, aka being the red team. There's going to be a red team. And this is me, by the way. Alright. So, we can't make countries just yet. What we are actually going to have is that it's going to be centralized over here. And you can, like, make countries in the general vicinity. So, Dean, this is actually a good case scenario for that. So, a group of explorers are going to go up, and Dean is going to be their forefather, I guess. And they're going to settle right on over here in the Netherlands. They're going to be Brown, Netherlands. How original. Can I turn on slow mode? I don't know what that means. Wait, okay. Should I have your names? Because that's kind of annoying to put it on the map. Maybe we should just do, like, polls on, like, what the countries should do. Alright. Oh, yeah, let me end the poll. Alright, so. Let's see. Should the red team and brown Dutch be friendly? Yes or no? Alright, so it's not going to be like that, but it's going to be like interacting with you guys in a different way, you know? So, okay, I see some people are a little bit mean. Moo-hoo. Oh, I wish this could be out of the frame. We'll live. Alright. So far, you guys are menaces because you think they should be friendly. Alright. So, in remarks, their brand new friend... I'm going to put it back over here. In remarks of their brand new friendship, they are going to establish a boundary with each other, and in which case they are going to discover more land, which is always a good thing. And then it's just going to be them meeting up, and they're going to be like, hey, what's up? I'm red, you're brown, we can make this work. Did not mean to discover England. Oh, no. What happened? What the? That's weird. Alright. Alright, yo, actually, yeah, that's a good idea. So, I'm gonna activate slow mode. It's like my brain. Slow mode. Yeah. Everything stopped. Alright. We're ending the poll. The red team and the brown team, they are friendly with each other. And yep, that is that. So now, you guys need to decide where should our new country be. Because we're going to make a new one. Where? New country. And it's either going to be in England or it is going to be in Catalonia. Also, sorry if I spell it incorrectly. I'm not really caring about that right now. So, you guys vote England or Catalonia. Where are they making the new civilization? Where is the explorationist group going? And also, I'm going to clean up these borders because they look a little bit strange. So I'm just going to do that while the poll does its thing. Holy moly. The entire world should be red. Are you ready? Alright. Looking at the poll, you guys, 53% of you guys want them to go to Catalonia. Respectable. Okay. Fair enough. But it's not confirmed just yet. Oh, no, it is confirmed. Okay. So, 53% want people to go to Catalonia. So that's what they're gonna do. Yeah. Alright. A group of people go down here to Catalonia. They're sick and tired of the red team and the brown team. They want to be their own thing. And they're just going to be like aggressive and expansionist. They're going to go through the Pyrenees. That's just how much aura they contain. They're going to be down here in Catalonia. And they're going to have like a general disdain towards the red team and the brown team. Because they don't want to be friends. I have to burp. I was able to keep it in. Alright. Catalonia is going to form, and they're going to be, surprise, surprise, in Catalonia. Alright. Brand new poll, guys. Alright, you know what? Since England was the runner-up, you know, it's automatically the runner-up, but since England was the runner-up, they are now going to be discovered. So a group of people go to England, sadly enough, and they land in England, sadly enough. And they're going to establish a nation, and that's going to be a weird, leathery, kind of like this color. So England is here, to the dismay of absolutely everyone, and that's beautiful. Alright, start a poll. Should red... Alright, wait. What should happen? Red, brown, alliance, or Rome civilization? let's go. Are we doing Rome civilization or a red-brown alliance? I think this is pretty clear what's gonna happen, because Rome is everybody's favorite. So while that happens, holy moly, so many people are messaging me. Jesus Christ. Let's see. 24 people, Rome civilization, understandable. You know, just throw. Alright, so. Alrighty then. A group of people from Catalonia is going to go down the Genovian. The Genova. They're going to go down Genoa, and they're going to arrive over here by, like, Milan. And I know I said Rome civilization, but it's just going to be northern Italy. And, you know, Rome just would be normie. So, this is going to be our Roman civilization, baby. And they are going to be the color of blue. So, they're here. They're beautiful. Boom. Go with that. Alright, we have Rome. And civilization is over here in Western Europe. So oh yeah, and we should end the poll. So let me start another poll. Should we create new civilization in India, or should we do Western Europe? Alright, so a poll just released. Should we do a new civilization group in India, or should we do a Western European, like, expansion and stuff like that? So I'm just going to let that brew for a little bit. Oh, what's happening here? Holy guacamole, okay. Oh, somebody texted me. Check my DMs. I'm scared. No. Alright. With a grand total 26 votes, we are going to have just general Western European expansion. So, they're just going to discover the inland of France. This area is like the Great Northern European Plain, so it's pretty reasonable up until they get to the Alps. That is going to stop them, but the Dutch are just going to shoot across Northern Europe. And we're also going to see some exploration into Cornwall and Wales. I did not forget what it's called. And they're going to get close to Ireland, but they don't discover it yet. And they're also going to have some people go here and find the Balearic Islands. And after this, there's going to be a lot of expansion. So we can now just go ahead and say that these are our explored areas of Western Europe. There we go. So technically it's a viewer WICSO. Technically, by some definitions, it's not. And I'm sorry, but I like this version better, to be completely honest. But these countries are just going to start expanding the blue team a lot. So they are just going to go ahead and do that. So that's very nice. And the red team is going to go down the whatever the hell it's called river and inland. They're going to do that. The Dutch, they want to cross here. They didn't do it for nothing. They're just going to shoot across. They're also going to go inland, following in the footsteps of the red team. Noah N221, welcome to the Augusto membership club. Oh, I'm going to have to update the member shoutouts. If you guys are like putting stuff in the chat, you may as well just like ask questions about me or the WICSO or just like questions. I like answering questions. But something pretty interesting is that these guys are going to meet up, which could be very bad in the future if you think about it. Alright. Once again, this is not, you're not going to have your name labeled on it. For example, if a guy with a gamer tag just said, like his name was DJ, and he said make a beige England, DJ isn't going to be here. It's just contributing to the overall map. So, yeah. What are the populations of the countries? I would say around, the most populated is definitely the red team, probably about like 70,000, if I were to say. Do I have any suggestions for other YouTubers who do WICSO content as well to help get views? What I did is that I just made a new channel. That's like what I did. Let Rome expand more? Sure. They're going to go down the Roman Peninsula. Surprise, Saprota. They're going to go down the peninsula. They are going to find a lot of mountains and marsh. It's going to be very sad, but they're going to reluctantly expand down it. And I'm going to give him a little bit of a weird shape because I feel like it. Here we go. No, I'm not going to be that evil. All right. Going to put out another community poll. Should we India civilizations or yellow Poland? So we can either continue our Western European stuff, or we can go over here to India. You guys choose. In the meantime, I'm going to be prettying up this map because it looks a little bit interesting. These guys land in Ireland, by the way. And they also find the Isle of Man for some reason. What's my favorite ADIS Pro WICSO country? It's Western Africa. I have no idea why. Did any of my favorite empires collapse yet? You don't have to say the name, though. Any of my favorite empires in WICSO? My favorite WICSO empire was the Russian Empire, so... No, Intermania. You know, like the big yellow country that was over here? That was my favorite empire. Alright. Let's see, answering more questions. Have I participated in the Great Meme Reset? Do you know the way? Do you know the way? I love that meme. Let them get capital cities? Maybe. What's my most hated WICSO country in ADIS Pro WICSO? Great question. Let me go to the WICSO map and show you. Red Chile. I hate these guys. The red Chileans are the bane of my existence. I couldn't tell you why. I have no idea. I just have a general disdain for them, and I can't control it. Looks like we're going to do yellow Poland. So, on the brighter side of things, we are going to have Dutch explorers move across the northern areas of the Great European Plain, eventually getting to the mainland Intermanian Poland. They are going to arrive here and settle over here in Kaliningrad by the areas of Lithuania. Once they do this, they're going to establish a home base of knowledge, kind of just, you know, like knowing the area around them. And eventually, guess what they do? They make yellow Poland, not brown Poland. Yellow Poland. This is also going to trigger the Dutch to expand, which is natural. So they're just going to go ahead and do that. But then the yellow team is also going to be like, hey, what's up? And the brown team's like, yo, what's up? So, I think it's safe to say that these areas would be discovered. So that's pretty good. And our civilization is looking quite nice. This is a good looking civilization map. How do I get the WICSO maps? Somebody made them and gave it to me for some reason, and I'm very thankful. Make the Dutch very angry. They're going to expand inland. Viciously. Oh, that's quite big. Okay. So, I'm just going to be doing a general Europe update while I put out another poll, and that is going to be... should we? India civilizations or Norway? That was a very lazily made poll. My apologies, but how the cookie crumbles. Can you make an alternate version of Ada's WICSO map a series in the future? I have a video that's coming out that's inspired by alts and mapping, and it's like the narration content with the alternate scenarios, and I'm gonna be doing that. I found it really fun. I made a video. What if the African Union won their civil war? That's gonna be a good video. Let's see. By the way, do your WICSO countries have coat of arms? They do not have coat of arms. It'd be awesome if you did that. Not saying you have to, but that would be freaking sick. Why do you guys hate India civilization, bro? Okay. What's the big idea? We're getting Norway. We're getting the Norway update. So, oh, it's only been an hour and 20 minutes. It's not even that bad. So, once again, Dutch explorers are just going to go up Denmark. It looks like the Dutch explorers really like to leave their country, maybe for good reason. But they're going to get over here in Sweden, and eventually they're going to discover the entire peninsula. And they're just going to go up here to the areas of Oslo. Haven't gone there. Really want to go there. But these explorers, they're going to settle. It's just only one group of them is going to establish a civilization. And that is going to be a... we don't have dark green yet. So, they're going to be dark green. And they're going to be Norway. Okay, yeah, mostly Sweden, but Norway. Because I said so. There's no logic. Just because I said so. Alright. Green Norway, you sick freaks. We're doing another European... Oh, God, what did I do? Oh, we're good. So, there we go. The Dutch. They're very expansionist. If you couldn't tell, they're just going to take the entirety of Denmark. Not in reference to anything at all. Trust me. They're going to take some Sweden. And also, Intermanium is going to expand a lot down here in the southwest areas of what is now their country. They're going to expand more east because they're kind of like a frontier. Interesting. Why is that blurry? That's fine. Alright. Can I stream this tomorrow? Maybe. I think it's also time for some Roman expansion. They're going to discover the boot as well as Sicily. So they're just going to go ahead. I'm going to get a bigger brush because I think at this point civilization is able to do that. So, yep, they're just going to go ahead and do that. And bada boom, bada bing. They're going to take the rest of the peninsula, but they're only going to take a small section of Sicily. They're also going to send a division down here. They most likely already know about the Balkan coastline. It's just people are actually now going down to see it and believe it. There we go. So, alright, so I'm seeing a whole bunch of requests for Iberia. Not like saying any colors. So, should we do Iberia? Or should we do India civilizations? This is a good looking map. I like this. Oh, I haven't checked my DMs in a bit. Holy Jesus. My lordy lord. Okay. Wow, okay. Who would have guessed? They want Iberia. After this, I'm just going to start India, okay? I do not care anymore. Are any of my WICSO countries ever planning on... Wait. My WICSO countries ever planning on exploring if there are any other life in the universe? That's definitely going to be a big subject later in the series. Not now in the series because it's still in the World War II era. But there are definitely going to be some events later in the future. I don't know if you just spoiled it. But don't mind that. 24 people voted. And it turns out a majority of people do want Iberia. So, Am I ever planning on releasing the WICSO maps for the community to use? Maybe. I'll have to get permission from the guy that made them, but most likely C. I don't take Spanish. I take French. All right, a group of Catalonians are gonna go over here, and they're gonna make Lime, Iberia, and this it just feels right. Like it feels right. So Galicia is now here. Also, I finally learned my like Spanish region areas like Galicia, Andalusia, Catalonia, Portugal. So these guys, I actually really hate their color. We're gonna move them up into Basque. Oh yeah, that doesn't mesh very well. So I'm gonna make their color different because the lime is kind of ugly here. Maybe pink? No, it's too much like red concentration. No, maybe light pink. No. How about cream? I like it. We have cream, Galicia / Basque. They are gonna do some naval exploration, and it is all good. Yo, should we do a glasses list reveal? A reveal of a Gisto without his glasses. Alright. This is good. I like this. Remake my WICSO Indian Empire. Bro, they just fell. This is under my accord. It's what I want to do. Because it's my WICSO. So you should start your own WICSO. By the way, British Isles. They are discovered. I don't know why I'm doing it like this. But there we go. Alright, so. Should. Also, if you see in the polls, if you see SW, it just means should we. So, Scotland or India. Scotland or India is the big question. What's the big idea? While that happens, England is going to expand up here into Wales, and Glasgow and Edinburgh are there, but it's not going to be there. Yo, anybody here watching the Amazing Digital Circus? Or is that just me? I love the Amazing Digital Circus. So, Italy. You're going to be expanding up into these areas. I want to give their borders a little bit more purpose because it looks like very boring right now. So, we're just going to make some funky borders. Perfect. Catalonia, Sardinia, you are now claimed, as well as you, Sicily. 20 people, majority Scotland. Interesting. Has been hotel better? Why did I just open my editing software? Has been hotel. It's good. It just takes a while for the seasons to come out. Alright, 20 people. Majority of people wanted for Scotland. So, that's what we're doing. We're doing Scotland. And they're going to be pink. I don't care what anyone says. Pink is a good color. I don't know who says pink isn't a good color. I don't know. Like, why am I talking right now? Alright. They're also going to go into Ireland. Because why not? But the English are going to be petty, as the English always are. Sorry if you're English. Colonial English. But they're going to make a claim over here in Ireland. Or Hermonia. I have no idea what it's called. I should make France... wait. You should make France make America great again. I don't know what that means. Next, Africa or Meso... Okay. Actually... should we do? Or you know what? No choice. We are either doing India, Africa, or Mesopotamia. I think it's pretty obvious what's going to win here. If I can predict anything, it's going to be Mesopotamia that wins. If Mesopotamia wins, holy moly. Surprise, surprise, Mesopotamia is at a general advantage with 50%. And yeah, it's not looking good for the other options because we're definitely doing Mesopotamia. Wow, it's looking pretty. Oh, we haven't been to Norway in a little bit. So let's go to Norway. We are just going to do a little bit, something like that. And then Norway. They're going to go like that. Now Norway has their bulb. Probably should watch my language. Okay. 19 votes. Surprise. Mesopotamia won with a whopping 58%. And you know what? You sick freaks are going to get what you want. You are going to get Mesopotamia. So what color should Mesopotamia be? Orange. Yeah, orange. All right. So the story here is that these guys are not aware of the Western Europeans. They're just going to arise here and they're just going to be doing their own thing. They don't really care about what other people have to say. They are just chilling. They're over here in Kuwait. And eventually they're going to realize that a whole bunch of good stuff is over here. And they're going to realize that it comes from these areas. So two groups are going to go up here. One in the Tigris and the other in the Euphrates. And they're just going to meet up. And eventually they're going to make a boundary of knowledge. I guess like an area of which they know exists over here in Mesopotamia. Like I said, Tigris, Euphrates, and it's just going to meet up with like one straight line because they don't know it's past here. So now we have Mesopotamia, baby. Let's freaking go. Orange, yeah. What, are you sad it's not red? Alright. Let's make some Mediterranean beef. The Catalonians, they're going to be invading Corsica. And this is going to mark the beginning of the first Italian-Corsican War. Or Italian Catalonian War. Noah N21, thank you for the 2.49 euros. Do Ada's WICSO Carthage. Sure. Thank you for the money. You totally did not have to do that. But thank you. I appreciate it. So, I think you're talking about these guys. So, the story is that people hear about the war against Catalonia. And they're sick and tired. Escape over here to Carthage. Like, the story is that, I know I just said this, but the people are going to be tired of expansion and war, both of which concepts that the Catalonians and the Romans have been demonstrating. So they're just going to escape over here, and they are going to establish their brand new civilization, being Carthage. And that is that. And with that, the 2025 season comes to an end. My heart into... I missed 2025, but now it's the 26. 2026. Alright, so they're gonna discover a good chunk of land. They're just gonna send a good amount of their people down here. And they are going to now expand west. And they're gonna stop exploring because it is time for their map update. And, you know, it's not gonna be anything big or crazy. It's just gonna be Carthage. So they are going to be like that. More bulby in the north, because that is just naturally where they would settle. But yeah, now we have Carthage, Mesopotamia, and yep. Oh, right, going back to the war, Catalonia is going to march their ground divisions into Italy. And Italy, this is like the first war we've ever seen happen, which is pretty unrealistic. But Italy was prepared for this, because they're going to land in Sardinia, because they're... and they're going to recapture Corsica. So, the Catalonians are going to advance on the front line, but eventually the red team is going to join in as well. They don't like what the Catalonians are doing because they're generally quite expansionist, and they are going to be invading, helping out the blue team in their endeavors. So they're just going to go ahead and reclaim this for the blue team. So we can just go ahead, just erase all of that, and Catalonia is now falling off. Now, Catalonia is going to immediately, sue for peace, and they are going to establish these, they're going to establish these occupational boundaries, of which will just become the red team border, and the blue team is going to do that, and they have lost the first war. Very bad. Let's see. Question, do I like strawberries? If they don't get stuck in my teeth, then yeah, I like strawberries. Low-key. Teeth and strawberries. Strawberry seeds. Mad annoying. Oh shoot, Dean Gaming, thank you for the 1. You did not attach a message, but nonetheless, thank you very much. Oh, the brown team. Okay, you wanted the brown team to expand? Is that what your donation was for? Sure. So they're just going to meet up with the blue team, and they are going to make this one of their main policies. And they're just going to be the connection of all of the countries. That's what they want to do. And eventually there is this Swiss area, and very original. But the brown team is going to establish a vassal state. Just a buffer between them and the blue team. But eventually these areas are just going to be occupationally occupied by the red team and the blue team. And that's going to be represented by this. Just kidding. That would look weird. They're just going to divide up the territory, so we can just go ahead and do that after the occupation is done. And this is what we see Central Europe looking like. Red expands. They did do that. Denmark rebels away and eventually will make an empire. That's a good idea. I know I generally would do a poll, but I do like the idea of Denmark. So Denmark, the story behind them is that they, like many others, do not like the brown team's expansion. But they're going to take it to another level, as they are just going to break away and form their own nation. I might actually make that a little bit brighter. So, just like that. Perfect. We now have a Danish state. Alright, let's start another poll. Should we do India or Africa? Now, I already know technically there is one civilization in Africa, being Carthage, but it is just going to be like a separate area. So it'll probably be over here in Egypt if I had to say, but yeah, this is actually pretty fun. I like this. So, I was only 5 o'clock. Dang. While that brews, I'm just going to be doing a little bit of a map update, because definitely all of these areas have definitely become explored, and thus far it looks like that. And Carthage is going to make its main idealistic to expand. So they're going to expand down there a little bit into the inland. They're going to go like that. Very original Carthage. But the Carthaginians are actually going to ally themselves with the Purple Catalonians. And I think it's time for our first alliance to be created. So we can just call this the square alliance. It's going to be shared between the Catalonians and the Carthaginians. So, we have a first alliance. Not sure if this alliance is common interest. Actually, no, it most definitely is common interest. But, between the growing powers of Italy and France, the Catalonians and the Carthaginians are going to combine their forces. And eventually, with the Catalonians, actually, their strain is going to be released. you know, the northern parts of their country. They don't have to worry about that anymore. Oh, that voice crack was awful, but they no longer need to worry about the north of their country. They can now mainly focus on their mainland, which is now going to be over here in Iberia mostly. And they are going to take it upon themselves to become Andalusia, which they are going to successfully do by taking over everything here to Gibraltar. And then Carthage and them have... It's laggy. Oh, it's laggy. Oh, it's laggy. It's very laggy. Are we good? OBS. Wait. Reconnected. Alright, cool. We're back. Yeah, there's lag. Sorry about that. There's not much I can really do about that to my knowledge. Is the lag... Everybody type P if the lag is bad. Type P if the lag is back. No, I said P. P, like the letter. Alright, now type M if the lag isn't bad. Type M if the lag is not bad. PM. Alright. So, with the lag being fixed, Egypt can become itself. And probably just the same story as the Mesopotamians. People are already over here. It's just like, and you know, they were just dropped here, okay? They were just dropped here because I said so. And they're going to form Egypt, and whether you like it or not, they are going to be a seafoam colored Egypt, as cursed as that is. That is quite the strange shape. We're going to have to roll with it. But these guys, they're going to go down here into the Sinai Peninsula, also into Jeddah. And they are going to be doing their own thing. They're going to be locked in. Alright, from now on, if the lag gets bad, then type P. But when it gets back and like when it becomes not laggy after the lag, type M. So it's like, say it's like buffering, then type P. But if it stops buffering, then type M. But what I was going to say before OBS just quit on me is that Egypt is expanding in the Sinai Peninsula, which is always great if you love Egypt. But interestingly enough, remember those Carthaginian explorers? Yeah, they're gonna get all the way over here to Egypt, and eventually they're gonna realize that they are both different pockets of civilization, and this news baffles Western Europe because they thought they were alone, and it's starting to question whether there are other people out there. But all we need to know is that there is going to be more Eastern European exploration, which I have failed to elaborate on. Not anymore, though, because it is going to have a big exploration, and the blue team is going to be responsible for carving up a very large portion of that. Alright, let's start another poll. Should we? India or, hear me out, Turkey? It's up to you guys. Are we doing Turkey or are we doing India? Oh, also, by the way, they're going to arrive down here in Greece. Actually, let me just make an outline of what they're going to explore now. So, they get all the way over here, which is going to be very annoying to do that. But it is okay because we are goated and we did it. So, boom. There we go. Looks like India is winning. Oh my. Finally, bro. India is finally doing it. Oh my God. That is beautiful. No. No. If somebody votes right now and they vote Turkey, I am actually going to cry. Please. You could be... Bro. Oh, you... Oh, why I oughta... Alright. To my horrible dismay, India, it was short-lived. You know what? I'm done. After this, we're doing India. I'm not gonna put out a poll. Holy smokes, he's not putting out a poll. He's a maniac. I'm just gonna do India. Because India good, and they can probably connect up with Mesopotamia or something. So, Blue Team Explorers were here in the Balkans, and they're gonna go across Constantinople. Is that outdated? I remember people back in my day used to call it Constantinople. But they're gonna get over here in like northern Turkey, and they are going to do their thing, just regurgitating the exact same things I've been saying. But they're gonna establish their boundary of knowledge, and they're going to create a brand new country. Ha 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 ha. And you know what? Just for my anger, you guys are gonna be, it's gonna be a barf green. Just kidding. I would never do that. They're gonna be a crimson, like I saw in the comments. Why did I say comments? No, they're gonna be this color. Okay, end the poll. I get it. We're doing Turkey. Okay. We're doing India now, okay? We're doing India. And guess what, baby? It's going to be in Kathiawar. Totally unrelated. If you've watched my WICSO, you know. So let's see. They're just gonna... Yeah, people... Holy smokes. Rome WICSO, thank you for the $2 ruse. Scream into my microphone. Like, ah. I mean, you paid $2. Is that good? Alright. You spent $2 on that. You know what, Rome WICSO, the next thing that you comment, I'll do. Because I don't feel like that was a very good decision to do with $2. So, Rome WICSO, comment something else, please. Because I don't want that to be worth $2. Please, Rome WICSO. I feel bad now. Okay. India is going to be this shade of pink. They are going to be good. Spanish Empire mapping. What the Sigma? Alright. History Nerd Nom. You've been asking for Czechoslovakia. Alright, you know what? Sure. Yeah, we're doing Czechoslovakia now. The situation here is that the explorers, they're going to establish their own country, but they're going to be under the jurisdiction of Intermania. So it's going to be a little bit strange. It's kind of like a buffer state, but it's like... Apologies. They are going to be a vassal of the yellow team, and that is your Czechoslovakia. What was I clapping? I wasn't clapping. Can Cyprus be a country? Once they become discovered. Speaking of discovery, Anatolia is now going to become its own thing. And woo-hoo, let's go. Alright. You're being ignored. You know what? Cyprus, you're going to be explored. Not by my own will. This guy wants you to be explored. And excuse me. Alright, so with the discovery of Cyprus, they're going to become a country. I hope you're happy. But there's just one catch. This country, Cyprus, you know Cyprus, they were a lot bigger than you may have thought. They're not just Cyprus. Their government is in Cyprus. It's just they're going to control southern Anatolia, which you might think is a little bit strange. And I would also agree, but you know what? We're having strong Cyprus. You may think this is Anatolia, South Anatolia. This is Cyprus. And you know what? The Cyprus Empire, they're taking Crete too. I don't want to hear, make Crete a country. No! Because it's Cyprus. It always belonged to Cyprus. You know what? Cyprus is taking the west too. They're also taking the islands of Greece. Boom. This isn't Anatolia. This is Cyprus. If you name it incorrectly, I will find your house. And I will be in your bedroom. Just look under the lamppost. You know, there's like a lamppost, and then you have the lamp head. I am the lamppost! If you misname Cyprus. Alright, I am now not angry. Cyprus gets all of South Greece. Bet. Boom. Cyprus, if it's not apparent, they're being funded by a foreign country. I wonder who. But we're actually going to see another war happen, and that's going to be between... Alright, you know what? We're having the Second Punic Wars, baby. Second Punic Wars. Oh, perfect. There's a Catalonian claim over here. And you know what? The blue team just goes ahead and takes their claim and annexes it. And that is an act of war. And the Second Punic Wars are upon us. And the blue team, they planned this. They're going to be landing over here in Africa. But they're also going to make a naval landing over here in Libya. And these areas haven't really been assimilated by the Carthaginians. And the Carthaginians in general are just not very technologically advanced. So these areas are easily taken by the blue team. And they're going to establish a front line in which that is going to look like this. Ugh. But now another country is going to join the war. And the country joining the war is Galatia. Galatia is just going to steamroll Carthage. Because these guys worked out a secret alliance. And yeah. They're also definitely being funded by the red team, by the way. So, the square alliance definitely didn't mean anything. It's just two weak countries. And those weak countries just got toppled by some very strong countries. And it turns out, if you're two weak countries going against two strong countries, then it's not going to work out for you. So, the blue team, they're going to win. Simple as that. They're going to take these territories away from Carthage. They get themselves some Libyan claims. And they, yeah. Noah? Why? Why? You know what? They're going to collapse later. I'm not collapsing them right now because they just won a war. But, like... Alright. They're going to collapse later. Not now. But we're going to see an Albanian state form. This is going to be very important for later because Rome is collapsing soon. And that is because of a coalition that's going to be forming against them. Who could have saw this coming? A whole bunch of countries are just going to go ahead and join the Square Alliance, being Albania and the vassal state of the Brown Team, and henceforth also the Brown Team as a whole. What? Rome WICSO donated $10. Bro, I cannot comprehend that. $10 for a map. Guys, check the time, check the time, check the time, check the time. Eastern Standard Time. Check the time, check the time, check the time, check the time, check the time. Holy moly. Alright, you know what? The coalition forms, but it's not going to be very effective because the Brown Team just decides to change their mind. The Brown Team, they leave. So the Blue Team is going to be able to absolutely dominate in their coalition. The Albanians just formed. They're very weak, and they were not being funded by anybody. So they are just going to be absolutely demolished, and they're also going to be met by the swords of Cypriots, and they are just going to collapse. And these guys, they get scared silly, and eventually the Square Alliance is going to be dissolved. $10 for that. Oh, that's crazy. Thank you, Rome WICSO. You're a massive W. But they're going to be getting these territories after the war. And you know what? The blue team is also just going to be taking the Balearic Islands and a little bit of Carthage. And eventually, this would probably make sense. Carthage is just going to take all of their economy and use it to push over here. And you know what they're going to do? They are going to unite with the purple team! Yeah! Purple team unification with Carthage. It makes a lot of sense. But the blue team is going to be establishing a vassal state. And I probably should have mentioned that in the peace treaty. So, vassal. This is not occupied land. This is a vassal state. And actually, you know what? No, they're just going to annex it. And actually, I don't really like how this looks. So, boom. Europe map updated. We're getting a lot of lore. Okay. So, I noticed something, and that is that the brown team is stuck. The brown team, they can't really do anything. You know, they're going to expand a little bit, but that is also at the mercy of Intermania. And the blue team and Intermania are just going to be like, yeah, we don't like you expanding, and you were also in my coalition for a little bit, so we are just going to go ahead and block you off along with Intermania. So, there we go. And the brown team is now stuck. So, they're not going to be invading the yellow team yet, because we're going to be going down here. And that is because Mesopotamia is going to explore down into Qatar. And Mesopotamia, they're going to become an empire, okay? We're going to make the Mesopotamian Empire. Yo, should we make the Swiss Empire? Totally original, but these guys, they're going to be the naval explorers. They like to do the naval stuff because they're going to establish a colony over here in Qatar. They're going to establish a multitude of colonies, one being over here in the west of Persia. And they're also going to establish one over here on the coast of Saudi Arabia. And yeah, they are going to do this. And eventually this colony is going to link up with Qatar. And this one is going to link up with the mainland. And this one is also going to link up with the mainland. So these guys are making their own Mesopotamian empire. Not really in Mesopotamia, but we can fix that with a less bad looking border. So there we go. Mesopotamia Empire. It's good. But now I think we should definitely expand upon this area of the world. It's a little bit sad right now, so we're going to get a little bit more lore here. We're going to get a naval boat, and they are going to just leave. No one knows where they're going. They end up crash landing in the UAE, and eventually they just discover all the land. And this was a shipwreckage, so these guys are like what? So they're not going to stop there though. They are going to be continuing here. They're going to be continuing as they try to set sail back to go to Mesopotamia, but they're just going to end up going farther east. And at this point, they just end up accepting their fate, and they're going to settle over here in Iran. So, discovering a lot of territory due to the orange team. You know what? India and Mesopotamia, they connect. They're like, hey, we know you now. And that is mostly thanks to the naval boat people here. And if you were wondering, they are pink. So, oh, heavens. Okay. Alright, so India and Mesopotamia are now aware of each other's existence due to the pink team over here, which was like the boat crash area. And there we go. Yep, there is like a little bit of a world developing over here. Ugh. Okay. Alright, the Cypriots are doing some stuff. The Cypriots, they're going to go ahead and just discover the Levant, which they do successfully. And once the entire Mediterranean is discovered, the Cypriots are going to work together with the Crimson Turks, and they are going to work to push east, almost to Mesopotamia, but not there quite yet, because we need to do our Egypt update. That is going to be them expanding along the coastline, and eventually connections are basically established between the Blue and the Egyptians. It is just the one differing thing that they don't share a physical border. But Egypt is going to expand up into the Levant, eventually meeting the border with the Cypriots. So they're going to go ahead and do that. Crimson Turkey is also going to expand, now sharing a border with the Cypriots. And the Cypriots have now gotten themselves a sort of a regional influence, if you can call it that. They are going to... Their influence looks a little something like this, just like them and a little bit of Italy. But this is their influence. And talking about influence, actually, you know what? No. They don't have that influence. They probably have influence looking a little something like this, actually. So, not as whelming as you may seem. Sorry. I was doing my own thing. We're going back to the chat. This is because these nations need capitals. Alright. We're going to do a poll. Should we add capitals, or should we do Black Sea stuff? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I think a lot of people are going to want to add capitals, and I don't blame you guys. So, yep, we're just going to do that. Even though only 12 people have voted on the poll thus far, I think it is safe enough to say that even if the rest of the people vote for the other thing, it is still going to remain as majority for the add capitals. So we are going to do that. We are going to have the red team capital over here in Brest, where it all started. The Basque country is going to have their capital in the previous capital of the Catalonians, and speaking of them, their capital is down here in Andalusia. The Roman capital, remember, they established themselves up here in the north, so their capital is there. The vassal state doesn't have a government. It is overlooked by the Dutch, whose capital is right here. We have the English capital there, Scottish capital here, Danish, Norwegian. I'm going to make a gold for the Armenian country. The Cypriots, obviously, and Cyprus. And then we have the Egyptian country, the Turkish country, Mesopotamia, these guys, and Cathawar. Okay, we have our stuff done. Alright, so since adding capitals won the poll and we added capitals, I am now going to be doing the Black Sea stuff. Actually, we're going to have, okay, green Greece, sure. I don't know if that's how you spell Greece, but sure, yeah. Do we have a lime team yet? No. This is a better color for Egypt. Oh, God. This is a better color for them. But we are going to be making a very, very dark green for Greece. They're going to be breaking away from Cyprus. Yeah, it's natural. Greece just doesn't like them anymore. The Cypriots have been weakened. Alright, the brown team, they're going to be doing some stuff. They're going to be demanding that they are going to want to annex the vassal state. And, of course, the yellow team is like, no, this is our vassal state. This is our influence. Why would we want to let you invade that? And then the brown team just, yeah, they're just going to invade it. And eventually the yellow team just sees how swift they did it. And they're going to establish a peace treaty, in which case they're just going to take half of this. The brown team gets the rest. And eventually they're just going to use that to kind of get around of the blue team. Not really saying that they want to do that. Of course, there are economic assets they can focus on. But the brown team has expanded. Alright. Iberian Imperium iShare. How does this work? Basically, you guys say what you want to happen to the map, and I expand upon it And yeah, just like that. Cypriot wars with Greece. Sure. So, Cypriot... God, why did I call them that? The Cypriots are going to expand into the areas of Thessaloniki, and eventually their expansion forces are going to meet the border of Greece, and there is a pretty long standstill, and eventually the Cypriots are going to launch a full-scale attack against the Greeks. And this isn't really for the mainland of Greece, they just want Crete and like the islands. Oh, it's a lot of words from me, but eventually Greece is the warmongering state. They're really not going to want to back down because they want nationality, and you know, they end up losing their southern island, but they're actually going to be able to miraculously hold out, and in which case, after this, these Cypriots are just going to expand their territory here, and after this, the Greeks, they don't have a capital. Oh heavens. Put it right here in Albania, because that's where they formed. Okay. Civilizations are doing pretty good, if I do say so myself. Greece is going to expand a little bit around the Macedonian areas. Now, what should we do now? A new country splits off the blue Italian country. Somebody paid $10 for these guys to exist, so I'm sorry. Gray Bulgaria, sure. Well, should I be gray? Sure. Alright, so, the Macedonians, the Cypriots, they are going to send an exploration force up here into Romania, and they are going to knowingly establish a new nation. They're not going to really want to war over influence anymore, but it is for the purpose of economics. You can see the Danube is over here, and if they establish a country over here, then the Danube can be more over them. Alright, we're doing a poll. Alright, so starting a poll. Should worlds unite, Euro and Meso, or big war? And what I mean by like worlds uniting, it's like these guys discover that these guys exist. So I'm not going to say what the big war is, but in the meantime, while that happens, there is going to be a brand new alliance, and that is going to be shared between the countries of, if I can, actually, wait, let me layer these. So, alliances, and, what? No, I want them to have a name. Alright. Big war. Alright. So, I was talking about that new alliance, and that is for the purpose of an alliance between the blue team. They are going to be allying with a very interesting country, but first we need to color in their diamonds, so that looks like that. So, Italy is going to be aligning themselves with the Cypriots, obviously. They were established by the Italians, so it just makes sense. But eventually, a rivaling alliance is going to be created, and this is going to be known as the Parallelogram Alliance. The Parallelogram Alliance is going to be made by Greece. Basically, it's just like an anti-imperial alliance, and this is also, the brown team is going to join this, not really for the aspects of anti-imperial, but of course the brown team is imperial. So, oh god, what I'm saying doesn't make sense. The brown team joins even though the main idealistics of the alliance are not to be imperial, and the diamond alliance is a purely imperial alliance, just for the interest of them and them themselves, because they want to expand, whether it be alliances or, yeah. Eventually, we are also going to see the red team join this alliance. Now, the Parallelogram Alliance and the Diamond Alliance are not specifically like enemies as of now. They of course do have some tensions between them. That's just like it's like natural. But we're gonna have a little bit more expansion into Europe because I feel like we haven't done that in a little bit. And the yellow team is just going to get a little bit of territory here. But surprise, surprise, another country is going to be joining the Diamond Alliance. Oh no. And that is going to be the yellow team. Now it's pretty obvious to see why the yellow team would join. Like, come on, you have to. Like, they hate the brown team. They have relatively good relations with Italy. It's, you know, yeah. So, I'm not sure if you guys heard that, but all right, big war time. Time for the big war. It's actually going to start over here with the Andalusian country. They are going to have a little bit of a expansion here into the Balearic Islands. And eventually, this is going to lead to the Diamond Alliance declaring war on the Andalusians. Then the Andalusians, at the same time, are just going to go ahead and join the Parallelogram Alliance. How original. The Parallelogram Alliance and the Diamond Alliance are now at war. And this is going to be very interesting. Sorry, someone messaged me. Alright, Diamond and Parallelogram are at war. And yeah, the immediate fighting is obviously going to be over here with the red team and the blue team. These guys don't really have beef. It is just that they are, you know, just drifted apart from each other. And the blue team is no pushover. They are going to be able to counteract this. But another front line is going to be established in the north with the brown team, of course, being in this war. They're going to invade into the blue team. Okay, there's no discovery of America yet, because these are still relatively juvenile civilizations. Oh. Okay. So, the Cypriots, they're going to absolutely push around the Greeks. They didn't really have a, like, justification to in the first place when they broke away and stuff like that. But now they're actually like, we're in a war with you and it's not our fault, but, you know, we're just going to be invading you. But the Greeks are actually going to put up a good fight. They are going to be able to withstand the invading forces, both from the north and the south. And this is because they are goated. A red team merchant ship on its way to Africa trade accidentally strays off course and crashes off the coast of Brazil. Unable to return, they create a pre-colonial American civilization. That's a good idea. I'm going to be implementing that after the war, because this is going to be pretty big. But the brown team is just going to continue to invade into the blue team countryside. These areas are not specifically the most developed. But we are going to see a rebellion in the Italian country. There is going to be a lime team. They're breaking away. Not really ethnic, but they're going to have a rebellion. And the purple team is starting... No, sorry, the blue team is starting to fall. And this is because it's even shown as the Carthaginians are going to be reimbursed in their territory. And that's actually going to call for the reestablishment of the Carthaginian state. So let me just fetch their color. Here we go. Carthage is back, baby. Ooh. Carthage is back, baby. And they're here because of the war. Capital is a little different, though. But yeah, this is a pretty big war. Eventually, Italy is going to have to retract all of their forces from Greece. And this allows the Greeks to have a little bit more breathing room. They're even going to be able to invade into Macedonia, which the Cypriots had pretty underdeveloped. And eventually their invading forces are going to be pushed out of Greece, moving into South Greece. But eventually, as a last-ditch attempt, the brown team is... No, sorry, the blue team is going to fund a rebellion in the red team, and that is going to be a pink rebellion. Sorry, purple rebellion. This purple rebellion is funded by blue team operatives in an attempt to try and get them to relinquish their rebellion territory, and the rebellion territory, the lime team, is going to inherit this territory. They're not taking it, they're inheriting it, because the red team has stuff to deal with right now. But this is also going to allow the blue team to start to push back into the rebellion with a major success, but their economy is now going to plummet. And with their economy plummeting, they are just going to have a rebellion down here in Naples. Pretty self-explanatory. It's just economic area that's struggling. And a big symbolic moment is that Andalusia is going to take back Corsica. And at this point, it's all coming crashing down for the Diamond Alliance. At this point, the yellow team and the brown team haven't really even done anything. But the brown team is just going to go ahead and do that. And, yeah, Poland, they're going to have to relinquish all of their southern territories. And the brown team is now really big. So, yeah. But as the final nail in the coffin for the blue team, a rebellion is going to be staged over here in Yugoslavia. And that is going to be a Yugoslav rebellion. And that looks a little bit like the Greek troop color. So let me find a new color for it. That's good. And they're going to rebel. And they're going to take all of the areas south of Croatia. And the blue team, they've just fallen. And eventually, they are going to have to sue for peace after the red team is able to take out this rebellion. And the parallelograms have won the war. So, these peace treaties are going to be very, very interesting. Now, the peace treaty is going to be held over here in England, and the first accord is that the Diamond Alliance has to be dissolved. No remnants of it are allowed to exist. So there we go. Diamond Alliance is now gone, and there is going to be the first accord in the second accord, sorry. That is going to be the peace treaty between the brown team and the Polish. The brown team is just going to go ahead and take the southern areas of their country and just a little bit, kind of like a slap on the wrist. So the brown team is going to take these territories away from the yellow team. And eventually, the brown team is also going to take a little bit of territory over here. This is not their main intention, though. They're going to leave the blue team to these territories. So, yep. This rebellion is going to be able to take a lot of Saxony and Genoa. They're going to link up with the border of this, and they're also going to take the vassal state occupied territories. And I'm going to change their color a little bit because it's quite ugly. There we go. The red team is going to get a lot of economical relations, and that is the end of the second accord of the peace treaty. But the third accord is going to be the official division of the blue team. This was included in that, and I failed to say that. But the Yugoslavs are going to take this, and the Napoleons are going to take this. The Andalusians are going to take the Balearic Islands and Corsica, and that is not done, as now the Greeks are going to take these areas inside of the Cypriot claimed territory. And that's it. That's the peace treaty done. The blue team has fallen off big time. And now, for the final accord, we need these guys to have capitals. So, boom, boom, and boom. Alright. With the big war finally over, everyone can take a big sigh of relief because that was a very big war. But finally, I've seen a lot of people wanting the Americas, something to happen there. So, I saw somebody wanted there to be a red team merchant ship. So, this merchant ship is going to be in the Bay of Biscay, trying to get over here to the western areas of Galicia. We're just going to say that there are natural resources over there, and they're going to pick those up. Also, the English are going to get their claim. But this merchant ship is going to be taken out by a typhoon, and they are going to end up going way off course. And this is like their path. They are now going over here and nobody knows where they are. They are being taken all the way down here, and yeah, it's not looking good for them. They're going to be like knocked around by another storm, which sets them like off course again. But eventually, they're going to get down here to Brazil. And this was like their path kind of outlined. But eventually, when they land in Brazil, it's not immediately just going to be exploration. These guys are first going to need to survive. So that's going to be happening while we see something else happen. And that's going to be a Norwegian update, which we have not done in a very long time. So, yep, they're going to expand their knowledge over here in the areas of Scandinavia and Denmark, or I guess like Sweden, because their capital is in Sweden. They're going to take a lot of these areas by Stockholm, and now, yes, their name is definitely Sweden, because they're based in Sweden. But the Norwegians are going to shoot across, and they're going to take a big chunk of this territory. This does strain their economy a little bit, though, but the natural resources are going to quickly compensate. And eventually, the Scottish, they're going to go up here, and they're going to send out a boat to just try and see. They see the wind currents are a little bit different up here. And that is because of Iceland, so they are going to discover Iceland. Alright, so realistically, if they discovered Iceland, the one thing that I realistically seeing them do is that they would probably take a little bit of the western areas. So they're actually go ahead and do that. And yeah, this is what we see our world map looking like now. But now, oh, no. We're going to see the Black Sea stuff. The Grey Romanians, sponsored by the Cypriots, are going to send a lot of explorational forces here into the Azov areas, actually getting here to Caucasia, but the Azov and Crimean areas are the areas of focus. There's going to be a yellowish lime team, and these guys are going to be like the Mongol Empire. They do not care about civilians. They don't care about anything. This is probably a very populated country, but they do not care. They don't care about their civilians. They are just going to expand very rapidly like the Mongol Empire. The most populated country at this point is definitely the brown team. And speaking of them, they are going to annex their vassal, which is pretty interesting to think about. But these guys, like I said, they are the Mongol Empire, or at least like the comparison of it. And they are just going to end up discovering a lot of Eastern Europe. They're kind of like the yellow team and it is Pro's WICSO, but it's just a whole lot worse. They are just going to expand their knowledge of a lot more. And yeah. Now, they are not going to officially, they're not going to fall immediately, but I can tell you what they're going to do is that they're going to take a lot of territory. They are being sponsored by an outside power, and that power is going to remain unnamed, but this power is definitely very strong as they expand along all of these territories, which is pretty big. And yeah, they are now a noticeable smudge on the map. Alright. KP9. Alright. This area in Bulgaria, it is going to be divided up among the Cyan Yugoslavs, and eventually it is just going to be a line drawn down the middle. And the brown team is very sad because they are not invited to this conference, and they're going to lose out on basically all of their potential territory. And who do you think they're going to take it out on? Yeah, they're going to take it out on Poland. Poland is dead. This has been a long time coming. So there we go. But good news for you like Poland simps. Their operatives are going to escape up here. And the yellow team is going to live on, baby. Ugh. Sorry, my throat hurts. But the yellow team is going to live on just up here in the Baltic states. You know, their operatives, they expanded away from the brown team because they knew that they were going to invade. So, yeah, they're dead. They're gone. Bye-bye. Goodbye to at least the Polish yellow team. The Estonian yellow team, same philosophies, same governors, stuff like that. Now the Mesopotamians and the Europeans, they're going to connect, and they're going to realize that they're not alone, because they connected with the Egyptians earlier, and yeah. Alright. Yeah, let's do power rankings. It's actually a good idea, not gonna lie. Alright, so the #1 strongest country in the entire world thus far is the brown team. They have been on the rise for a very long time. They have just been very expansionist, and with all of their territory, yeah. #2 is going to be the red team. The red team, same as the brown team, just they're older and smaller, so not as much, but yeah. We're going to do the top 10. #3 is Ukraine. #4 is going to be Egypt. Alright. #5 is going to be this Greek country, and I'm not sure how well you can see that 5. No, you're good. The 5 is right there. And yeah, here are our top 5 strongest countries in the entire world thus far. And that is very interesting because these are not some very likely countries. Alright. I'm just doing the top 5 right now. We'll do the top 10 a little bit later. Oh, I haven't stood up in a while. Oh, my legs are weak. Oh, my bed is right here. I'm back. Oh yeah, you guys like my Iron Man chair? Oh god. We're back to the middle part. Wait. Alright. So like, how do you guys like the cut? Ah. I felt my brain got shut. Look at my afro. Holy moly. Okay, I think we're good. Fill in Mesopotamia? Bet. Well, not fill in, but like they're gonna discover a lot of it. Like, realistically, this Mesopotamian country does not have a lot of leverage, but you know what? They're just gonna be aura, and they're gonna gain it on their own accord. They're gonna take the areas all the way over here, and they're even gonna connect up with the Levant. This is gonna be very good for them. A lot of economic benefits come with this. Now they're actually gonna be relocating their capital over here to the lush areas. And now Norway and Sweden are going to unite into a dark purple country. Guys, it's the old empire, except it's Norway and Sweden. Not the old empire you guys were talking about, but Scandinavian empire. The Scandinavian empire is going to have dual capitals, but this capital is actually going to be located in Stockholm. So now, oh yeah. Oh my god, I forgot about India. The thing I was struggling for. Alright, so India, I'm trying not to base this off of my civilization, but yo, should we play Doodle Empires? I think we should. Alliance expansion. Naples, you're joining the Trapezoid Alliance, the Parallelogram Alliance. Liechtenstein independence. You know what? Sure. But we're going to make them the ugliest color known to man. Here we go. We now have the independence of Liechtenstein. This was held by a referendum with the people in the local area. And this is just going to be like what the people want, you know. Yo, should we do a part 2 live stream for this? Because this is definitely coming to an end soon. Because it's been 3 hours almost, which is crazy. Yo, Dean, you're not collapsing, bruh. Or, you know what? I'll prove that you're not collapsing. You literally expand all the way up here into Latvia. And the brown team is just dominating. Jeez. Alright. Cyprus, you're getting more territory out here in the east because people want that. When am I getting that Brazil nation? You're getting it right now. 11 note. Because these people, if you remember correctly, they landed down here. They were the merchant ship. And, yeah. Alright, so they are going to establish their nation, and this is going to be a pre-colonial American civilization. American in the sense of like the continents, not the actual country. But color for these guys. Let's do like a light orange. So they're now capital. No. They're now a country, but they do not have a capital because they are relatively unorganized, but they do have a lot of potential. Carthage deserves an expand. Carthage has suffered. So they're going to be advancing themselves into Numidia, but they're also going to expand along the Libyan coast, which is going to help them connect up with Egypt, which is always good, because Egypt is a very strong economic, holy moly, very strong economic power. So there we go. Carthage has expanded. Let's do another poll. Should we big Ukraine or, hear me out, oh, my finger, Scandinavia. Don't bully me if I get if I spelled Scandinavia wrong. I most likely did. But yeah, let's just do. Oh my God, I'm so silly. Romania never had a capital. Alright, with 18 votes, even if the rest of the people voted right now for big Ukraine, it wouldn't sway the vote. So, yeah. So these guys are going to expand their knowledge into Scandinavia. Wait, Scandinavia that's just like Sweden and Norway. So only Sweden, only the areas of like Sweden and Norway. A little bit of Finland is going to be discovered as well. And yeah. Now, Scandinavia is going to be expanding into, well, Scandinavia. And eventually, that is just going to lead them to take all of these territories, marking the beginning of their empire, and maybe even rivaling the Dutch. But most likely not, because the Dutch are the strongest country in the world. Weird idea. A Cypriot was going to Mesopotamia, but instead landing in India and illegally making a Cypriot colony. Alright, you know what? I'm going to elaborate on that. That's actually a good idea. So, first of all, these areas need to be discovered ASAP. But this Cypriot, he's a radical. This Cypriot radical is going to find himself on one of the local trade routes. This is not what he's doing. This is just me expanding the Cypriots. But this Cypriot is going to go down into Mesopotamia. He, you know, to get from country to country, in Europe, it's pretty simple. You just have to, like, prove that you don't have anything that you're smuggling with you. But over here in Mesopotamia, in the Middle East by India, it's not really very organized. So the Cypriot is just able to go, and he brings a lot of interesting things along with his trip. And eventually, he is going to get down here to India, and he is going to be having a one-man mission. But eventually, he picks up a couple of people over here in Kathawar. And this is a radicalized group of about probably 100 people. Eventually, over the years, the people, of course, are going to multiply. And they're going to establish themselves down here in southern India. Now, like I saw in the suggestion, they wanted to make an illegal Cypriot colony. But I don't think any jurisdiction would be created to counteract that. So they're just going to end up making their own brand new country. It's going to be a very light blue South India. So their capital is going to be right over here where their country formed. And eventually we are also going to see the Kathawarian country expand, because they've been here for quite a while, and they're definitely now one of the more like technologically advanced countries. So they are going to do that. And yeah, perfect. Alright. Time for Caspia. Mesopotamians go up to Caspia, but instead of expanding into Caspia, they let people do whatever they want. And these people are not going to like the Mesopotamians, so they are going to just leave, which might be illegal, but who cares? So, they get over here to, They get over here to Azerbaijan, and it's not exactly going to be Caspia. It is going to be mainly centralized in Azerbaijan, but it is also going to have some assets down here in these southern Caspian areas, and their capital is going to be over here in Azerbaijan. Like I said, that's where they're situated, so we can just go ahead and plonk it right there. And yeah, this is pretty cool. W's in the chat. The yellow team decides to expand north in order to gain power since they lost their power in the south. That's a good idea, and probably what would realistically happen. So, Finland, they're going to work together with the Scandinavians to discover a lot of Finland. And eventually, they gain leverage from the Finnish to take a lot of territory here. Now, of course, this is going to be overlooked by them. They're going to do that by having a sort of like bend. But the yellow team is going to establish a colony. Now, I wouldn't call it a colony because it is not, like, separated from them, but it is going to look like this, and they are slowly but surely making their way back up the ranks. Ugh. Wait, let me do something funny. Watch this. I apologize. Alright. Should we make this a live stream series? Let's see. Should we make this a live stream series? Question mark? Yeah. Nah. Alright. Everybody is required to vote on this poll. Because I said so. I'm pleasantly surprised. 95% of people want this to become a live stream series. Alright. And what if you didn't vote? Okay.
Ow, my elbow. Ah. Oh, I can't move it. Oh my god.
Sorry, I'll stop talking like that. Time for Big Ukraine. They're going to be dividing these areas up with the yellow team. And the yellow team is relatively okay with their expansion. They don't really mind it. They're just going to end up looking like that. And the Ukrainians are just going to be massive, just like the low taper fade meme. Am I right? I'll stop now. I'm sorry. But finally, you guys have all been asking for this. We are going to see the brown team do some colonial stuff. They are going to send out a boat. And they are aware of this merchant ship. It is a story all over here. In some countries, it's a myth. But, yeah. Now, the way they're going to be doing this is that they are going to establish themselves the colony. They're going to take the rest of Iceland, which is relatively easy for them to do. And they're going to set sail. They start down here. And they're going to use their wind circumnavigating to kind of decipher that the new continent is right on over here. So, they're going to go, and eventually they're going to crash, no, not crash, they're just going to land over here in Manhattan, like New York City. So, the brown team has now knowingly landed in the Americas, unlike these guys over here. These guys were relatively juvenile, they were just a merchant ship. The brown team is now going to actually be able to make a colony over here in New Jersey, and these areas by Connecticut. They go to Delmarva, and colonialism has been achieved, at least like formally. Noah, what if you spend money right now? You would lose money. I'm not sure what to say that. Does this mean that East Asia would be considered the new world? Not sure. Alright, we're going to be making a civilization over here in China. Now, I'm not going to elaborate too much on this because this was my idea to do this, and I want this to mainly be stuff that you guys want to do. But I think China, it is appropriate to have them on the map. So we can just go ahead and assume that they are going to take on the color of this, I guess. Just making this short and sweet because... Oh yeah, I can end the poll. So China is going to have their capital right here. Not too much talking about that. But oh heavens, it is very long. This poll, no sorry, this live stream is very long. Expansion of the weird idea. The Cypriot government sent soldiers to India where faced by hard resistance causing a war. That's cool. Not going to implement it now, but yeah. Going to a Ada's World War II card on the Dutch. I don't think you realize how smacked around the Dutch got. Look, I'll pull up the map right now. This is the peace treaty of World War II. They fell off. Like, they used to be all of that, and now then they fell off. Fill in Iberia. Yeah, it's definitely time to do that. Yep, pretty self-explanatory right here what's going to happen. Andalusia, their nationalism is through the roof. They're just going to take the liberty to take this. And the Basque, or I guess the actual Catalonians are going to take this. And Europe, it's filled in, baby. It's filled in. Oh, how do you guys like the thing I made? What came out earlier today? The full history of the Farmers Union.
Do you know this in the amazing...
Sorry, I watch ALMAO. That's not embarrassing. Okay. Search my own YouTube channel because that is weird. Okay. What? Keystone mapping is live?
You. Just you.
Dang it, I forgot my videos are monetized.
On base 44.
Dang it, I forgot my... that's funny. Alright. How do you guys like the full history of the Farmers Union? I think that was a W video. Should we react to it? Should we react to it? Oh yeah, it's time to do something in Caucasia. So, these Crimson guys are going to expand up here, and they are going to start to wrap around the coast of the Black Sea. And eventually, the Mongol-Ukrainian, when I say Mongol, it's like their ideology, but the Mongol-Ukrainians are going to reach down here. And eventually, they're just going to fill in the entirety of the Black Sea, which is pretty cool. Alright, I have an idea. Balkanize the brown team. Alright. What should the new shape of the alliance be made? Or what should the new shape be? I think it's going to be a triangle. And it's going to be formed by none other than the Scandinavians. Forming an alliance. They're going to form it with the Mongol Ukrainians as well as the Basque country. Now, these guys formed in like deterrence to the Parallelogram Alliance, which is kind of a foreign idea to these civilizations, because these guys have never really taken like pity to that kind of level. But this alliance is now purely made as a anti-parallelogram alliance. So they are just kind of like that. And the Parallelogram Alliance was made against the blue team. So the blue team is the bane of all existence. And yeah. I love how this started as a live for WICSO and became this. Yeah. Oh, big neck crack. Cyprus. What are we doing to Cyprus? Alright, you know what? I know you guys are gonna hate this. Well, not what I'm about to do. This is normal. Like, what I'm doing right now is normal. The yellow team joins the Triangle Alliance. But that's not what I was talking about. I was talking about the Dutch unifying with a nation. And that is going to be the red team. The red team is unifying with the Dutch. Wow. But this is going to bring on a load of issues. What it is going to do is that this previous rebellion, you remember the rebellion down here? Yeah, that's going to reappear in defiance of the red team. Sorry, the brown team. The red team's decision, I guess. But this rebellion is going to technically break out in Dutch territory, and whether you want to believe it or not, it is funded by Triangle Alliance operatives, and this is just going to allow for a whole bunch of pockets to break away for this rebellion for free red team, I guess you could say, in a new political sense. So we are going to have the birthplace of civilization break away, but also these areas down here in the red team. And eventually these areas are going to start to fight for their independence away from the brown team, trying to form a new red team. Quote, quote, red team. Now, you guys know, this was funded by the Triangle Alliance. The Parallelogram Alliance is now technically, I guess, being invaded by the Triangle Alliance in an indirect way. So, the Triangle Alliance and the Parallelogram Alliance are going to war. So, with the Parallelogram Alliance and the Triangle Alliance now at war, this is not going to be known as like a world war. Well, I guess it's technically like a known world war, but it is going to be a coalition of sorts, and a whole bunch of countries are going to join this because people don't really like the brown team, as a matter of fact. And these countries are going to express that they don't like the brown team by joining the Parallelogram Alliance. Oh, heavens. sorry, not joining the Parallelogram Alliance. I just want to make these guys' parallelogram bigger. They're going to be joining the Triangle Alliance. And who is joining the Triangle Alliance? Well, for one, it's going to be this country down here. We also see that the Cypriots are going to join in the Triangle Alliance. And Naples is in the war, sorry, but they're not going to be, affected, at least as far as you know. Sorry, but I'm curious. What happens if I do this? Okay, it didn't happen. Okay. So, big war. Let's start. First of all, the yellow team is going to be enacting vengeance. They have been pushed and shoved around by the brown team in their history. And there is a lot of nationalism to be had inside the yellow team by them taking the entirety of Latvia going in to Kaliningrad, aka their homeland. Which is pretty interesting. Alright. The next areas on the front line are actually going to be over here with brown team successes. They already had a plan to invade this lime team. And yeah, they're just going to be enacting them a little bit early. But this is also used as a counter-offensive measure against the purple rebellion over here. And this is going to allow them to actually take out one of the pockets. Now, no, not this one. Paratroopers don't exist yet. But it's also going to allow them to push into these territories. Actually now being able to flank out the lime team even more. And the brown team is actually doing pretty well over here in the west of their country. But now going over here to the Galician areas, the Galician country, they are, sorry, the Catalonians, I don't know why I keep calling them Galicia, they're going to invade into Andalusia, but Andalusia is just going to match them, and they are going to invade up into the central/northern areas of Portugal, getting to the actual areas of Galicia. And at this point, the purple team is just absolutely dominating the Catalonian team. And the Parallelogram Alliance is now going to see that they are going to confront the French rebellion by the south and the north. Now, this war, it's pretty massive, just like the no, I'm kidding, I would never say that. But these guys are going to be surrendering over to the Andalusians. And the Andalusians are going to slowly make their way up into these rebellious areas, moving into the rebel territory. But this is going to do something that is very bad for the brown team in a very indirect way. Now, the brown team is going to take this as an act of war by the Andalusians, and the Andalusians, who are second in command in the Parallelogram Alliance, are going to kick the brown team out of the Parallelogram Alliance. Now, you might be wondering, why did they do that? Sorry. Now, they did that because the brown team, the Parallelogram Alliance, even though it is administrated by the brown team has just been kicked out by the Andalusians because they're trying to help, and yeah, it's just like they're being mean. So now the Triangle Alliance and the Parallelogram Alliance, this is just a brown team coalition, so to speak, and it is going to be a nasty one. Now, going up against the strongest country in the entire world is quite the challenge, but when you are a lot of countries, you can prevail. For example, Scandinavia is going to be doing this, and the rebellion is actually going to subside over to the Andalusians, and they are just going to be able to go ahead and do this, which is very good for them. And yes, big brown team coalition. Eventually, the Parallelogram Alliance and the Triangle Alliance, they're just going to fight together now. And yeah, it's not looking good for the brown team. They have fallen far from their perch. And the Mongol Ukrainians are going to start to invade them from the eastern areas. Like I said, the operative funding the Mongol Ukrainians are still, very strong. If you were wondering, the Scandinavians are funding the Ukrainians, but no need to know that. Noah N21, thank you so much for the 90.99 euros. Much appreciated. But with the brown team on the collapse, it's not going to be very good. The Genoa country is going to be able to make a bounce back, and yeah, it's not looking very good. Now, is it? Noah N21, thank you for the 0.99 euros. Thank you. But as I was saying, the brown team, they're cooked. Yeah, the brown team, like I said, they're cooked. Eventually, occupational boundaries are going to be drawn up as the military of the brown team is just starting to fall back. And the Ukrainians are going to take these territories, and eventually, the purple team is going to get to the French areas, which have been recently annexed into the brown team. And now the brown team is just going to be encompassed in a big rebellion, trying to overthrow the country, which they successfully do. Now, this orange country isn't going to be a rebellion, it is a revolution, and it is going to encompass the entire country. And now, the Triangle Alliance has prevailed, and yeah. So now, we can take a look at a peace treaty between the brown team, I guess you could say. They don't really exist much anymore. Alright, so, this is before the war, and yeah, the Triangle Alliance, they ended up fighting with the Parallelogram Alliance, but the Parallelogram Alliance technically did win, but, okay, they're both going to be allowed to exist. So, there's going to be some interesting things happening over here. First of all, the purple team is going to acquire the territories over here in Galicia. These are just like their war spoils. This is what they want. And they are going to be getting that from the Catalonian country. And eventually, the Catalonian country is also going to gain a good amount of territory, being the Mediterranean coast of the brown team. This, faded out lime Genoa team is going to be getting territory over here. And the red team is, of course, going to be brought back in a little bit of a messed up state. It is kind of, jumbled. But the red team has now returned. The yellow team is going to be in burst with a whole bunch of territory, of which has been stolen by them from the brown team. They're going to be getting these territories. And the lime Ukrainians, they are going to be getting these territories, which is a lot for them. Scandinavia is going to be able to acquire these territories. And of course, like I said, the brown team was kicked out of the Parallelogram Alliance. And now this brown team, they're going to be split into two countries, actually three. This thick boy, 7780, thank you so much for the Canadian $5. The Dutch government royalty flee to the colony in North America. That's actually a smart idea. Alright. So, the Dutch, they are now going to be ripped into three pieces. One of the pieces being this. This is a big Central European nation. And the other nation is going to be over here. Poland tried to get this. Sorry, Estonia tried to get this. But it is just going to be made to a new country. So, here we go. Now, capitals, capitals, capitals. The red team is going to be having theirs in the origins of civilization. This new orange one will have theirs on the... They will have theirs on the... You guys hear that? Alright, it's gone. These guys are going to have their capital right here. These guys right here. That looks too much like brown. It's a little bit uncanny. So. Alright. That's what we see Europe looking like. Now, the Parallelogram Alliance has shifted. Oh, these guys are going to leave the Triangle Alliance. But the Parallelogram Alliance has now moved into a sort of Southern European accord, while the northern areas are encompassed with Triangle Alliance members in the east over here. But the Dutch royalty, of course, is going to flee over here to their colony. And Scotland is going to be able to go over here and take the rest of Iceland. And the brown team, technically, it lives on at least the the actual, whatchamacallit, their ideology lives on over here in the Americas. And yeah. But of course, different country. So, boom. Better color than that. I think I want to end it here though. This is a very, very nice live stream. We can put this. There we go. Let me just test. All right, we're good. Let's just see right here. All right, I think I am going to end the live stream. This has been actually probably one of the funnest live streams I think I've ever done, which is, oh god. Better. All right. Yep. I'm going to end the live stream here. Whoa. Weird. So we can go ahead. We can close that. All right. Well, it's not goodbye just yet. I want to mess around with this. It's funny. All right. Yeah, let's just talk. Let's just talk. I mean, like. All right, we're doing a Q&A. We're going to end with a very short Q&A. Probably, we'll go until 3 hours, 10 minutes or something like that. But let's give some answers to some questions. When do I think I'll reach 2,000 subscribers? I don't know. Let's check Social Blade. Social Blade says, I am going to reach 2,000 subscribers by March 17th. Teen Gaming, thank you for the €19. Sorry. Dutch did collapse. What's my name? My name is August. No, let me move this over here. I can move this. Actually. Alright, perfect. What's my name? My name is August. My favorite country in my WICSO is probably Rome. Can Naples form an economic alliance? Yeah, we'll do another live stream of this soon. This will be a live stream series. It'll be cool. Why didn't I do something with my €2.39? What? Oh, you didn't attach any text to it. So I didn't know what to do. Why are you getting so many donations? Not sure. Hey, Augusto, I am remaking episode 30 to 50 of WICSO for you. Thank you. My last name? Sandler. What's my favorite 8 is Pro WICSO country? Western Africa. My middle name, not saying. Do I watch the WWE? I do not. What is my favorite country? Like United States, I guess, because I live there. My favorite country in real life? USA, because I live there. Can you become America? If you... Oh, yeah. How about ask me, like, personal questions? Like, not, like, personal, like really personal, but just, like, about me. I don't know. Do I like any sports? Like to watch? No, but I like playing sports. When did I start mapping? Like on YouTube 9 months ago. Could have had a baby. Do I have a dog or a cat? I do have a dog. Let me show you a picture of him. He's so cute. We're doing Augusto dog reveal. It's my dog. His name is Dexter. Top 5 mapping YouTube channels. Not including myself. Adis Pro, A Norwegian, Altsin Mapping. Can't think of any others off the top of my head. The most important question, do I prefer ketchup or mayo? I don't like condiments. Am I going to do a WICSO Season 2? If it doesn't die, sure. Can you have mod? No. What map did you use to make VC WICSO? Viewer WICSO? What? Oh, I used one that Chilean Empire Mapping sent me on Discord. What's my faith? I'm Jewish. You know that America made the first atomic bomb in Utah? I didn't know. I thought it was in Nevada, the Manhattan Project testing. Do I like Luxembourg or Sweden better? Not gonna lie, Luxembourg is a whole lot more goated. Noah N21. I did write it, but 2x... 0.99. I can't write something on it. Oh, I didn't see your comment. Sorry. What was the map called that you used? Blank map. Like, you should erase the borders. Do you want to become president of the United States? No. I would rather, like, I would rather do so many other things. Do you like Italian? There is only one answer. I do like Italians because they make good food. Alright. Let's see. My favorite kind of pet? An alive one. Can I send the WICSO map in the Discord server? If I remember, sure. You're a president of a micronation? Am I excited for the Big 26? I am. Do I like Luxembourg or Switzerland better? Luxembourg. Would I rather be homeless or a billionaire? I think billionaire, right? The final boss. Do I like your PFP? I don't know. Let me look at it. I like it. It's very good. Alright. Come on, guys. Questions. It's a Q&A. You formally pardon Augusto? If I were to pick a location, where would I start WICSO? I think Korea is a pretty good place. Would I rather be a citizen of North Korea or Germany in 1941? Well, both are pretty bad. I don't see the North Korea regime falling for a long time, and I would be Jewish in Germany in 1941, so. Oh, God. I guess North Korea. At least there's a way for me to survive. Do I have a mom? Yes. India. Correct. Am I asking a question? No. Can you send the map that Chilean sent you? I'll do it after the live stream. Can I do a Q&A with viewer WICSO till 3 hours and 10 minutes? Yep, sure. I'll probably actually drag this out until 3 hours 10 minutes. Let's watch my video I made because it's low-key goated. It's so good. That's enough of that. What drove me to start YouTube? I don't know. I just asked ChatGPT, how do I map like ATIS Pro? And I was able to piece it all together. Would I rather like in the gold team World War IV or Ireland post World War V? I would rather live in the Irish country. What is a mini movie number 6 coming out? The interwar period is gonna be coming out. I don't know. I haven't made it yet. Did I think I was gonna what? I don't know what you mean by that. If I could live in a WICSO country, where would I choose? Definitely not on the coast because they're getting hit by floods right now with like the continents that were resurfaced. Probably in a Unitarian country because I know it's in the political controversy, but who did you root for in World War III? I low-key rooted for China because I knew the old empire had plot armor, but it was slowly deteriorating. And Russia got nuked, so I was low-key rooting for China. Do I know what a gonk gnome is? No. I don't know. Actually, let me search it. Yeah, I know. Alright. I think I'm going to end it here. Alright. Spam O. The letter O. Spam the letter O as I end the stream. Oh. Come on. Oh. Keep going. That's a good boy. Bye-bye.